So welcome to all of you. This evening we are going to hear about Lord Jagannath. Since last 15 days, every day we are discussing about Lord Jagannath. This discussion initially we started with the description of different niti, which starts from Akshaya Tritiya, building the chariots, then Snan Purnima, then Anavasara. We also discussed about Navajovana. Tomorrow Lord Jagannath will give darshan after 15 days. The youthful form, Navajovana Besa. So all these topics I discussed in Hindi, you can find, and also lots of pastimes of Lord Jagannath. If any of you know Hindi, you can go to my Facebook and listen all these things. But Hema Jagannath Prabhu requested me to discuss about the pastimes related to manifestation of Lord Jagannath deity. So that is what we will discuss today. As you know, before this Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Sudarshan deity manifest, the Lord was there in the form of Nila Madhava. It's beautiful deity, measures 21 fingers height, blue sapphire, Nilamani stone, special stone, the deity, very beautiful deity. So that was worshipped. And according to scripture, for the first 50 years of lifespan of Lord Brahma, known as Prathama Parardha, in Nilatal Dham, Lord is worshipped in the form of Nilamadhava. And second Parardha, the last 50 years of Brahma's lifespan, Lord is worshipped there in Chaturdha Murti. Chaturdha Murti means Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra and Sudarshan. So, the Jagannath's appearance, Jagannath's temple, everything Jagannath temple is very mysterious, very bewildering, very confusing. When it is confusing, bewildering, mysterious definitely, but if we don't try to understand it from proper perspective, if we try to understand the pastimes of Lord Jagannath within the limit of time and space, then it will become very bewildering. Because in regards to Jagannath temple, this is a very ancient place on the earthly planet. So we hear about Jagannath temple, the description what the history gives. In historical era, since the time when the history was started to be written like 3000 years ago, especially what in our history we find about Lord Jagannath temple, 1500 years, 1800 years, that is historical information. Then prior to that, prehistoric age, there was Pauranic period. So as history describes the different historical incidents that took place in Jagannath temple, in Pauranic time, Purana also describes, like Skanda Puran, many Puranas describes about Jagannath, Nilatala Dham, and Utkal means present Odisha, previously was known as Utkal. Actually, Skanda Puran, out of 18 Puranas, Skanda Puran is the biggest one with many verses. And that Puran has whole section called Utkala Khanda, which describes about the culture of Utkal at that time, and also very elaborately describes about Jagannath. So, in different Puranas, like Skanda Purana, Brahma Purana, Brahmanda Purana, many Puranas, they describes different aspects of Jagannath. On top of all these, the two scriptures they locally followed by Jagannath temple sevaks, Vamadeva Sanghita and Niladri Mahodaya, whose literatures are written in recent days following the previous scriptures, how to do puja, part, everything has been described there, and Puri temple they follow strictly that two literatures very strictly. So in this way, historical informations, Puranic informations, then beyond, prior to that, Jagannath Tattva did not come to existence from Puranic time when Puran was written. It goes beyond that also. From Vedic time, Jagannath is there. Not only from Vedic time, it goes beyond that. There is different kalpa. This one day of Brahma is one kalpa. So, Brahma, we hear from the scripture in Satyajug Jagannath manifested. But which Satyajug? In one day of Brahma, 1000 Satyajug. Out of that 1000 Satyajug, which Satyajug Jagannath appeared? And 1 month of Brahma has 30 days. And which day was that? So in this way it will be really difficult to calculate, since when Jagannath has manifested there, but there is some calculation, very long period which describes. So I am telling all these things so that people should not be confused. They should see things from proper perspectives. For example, for a long time I was thinking Jagannath temple is built by Indradimna. But then I came to know this is not the temple built by Indradimna. It was only built 1200 years ago. And that also whole Jagannath temple campus was not built at one stretch. It took 3-4 generations. Time to time different portions were added. So, but we hear from Purana, Indradimna built the temple made up of gold, 666 hands, means 1000 feet high. That was thousands of years ago. In the meantime, so many kings must have come, so many buildings must have built up. Now this Jagannath temple is there, what we see, and they are saying after 50 years this temple will fall down also. So like this. So the point is, we should not try to understand the Lord and His activities within the limit of time and place, because He is beyond time and place. So what I will describe to you today, that is how King Indradimna, he came to Nilachala and established deities. So Shastra says, Skanda Puran, that Indradimna is in the family of Brahma, 25th generation, who was ruling in the kingdom called Malav, and his capital name was Abanti. That is King Indradimna. and he was Param Vaishnav, great Vaishnavs. That time these kings, they're managing kingdom, not thinking that I am king of this place. The concept was always special in Orissa. The kings, they always have a mood that Jagannath is the king of Orissa and we are managing kingdom on his behalf. No. This is the great secret, that how previous times, previous days, previous ages, one person, Ambarish, Puru, Parikshit, etc., they're ruling the whole earthly planet. That time it was known as, whole earthly planet was known as Bharatavarsha. With their God conscious, Krishna conscious, there is no revolution by the citizens. They're all very happy. Kings are Prajanuranjana, they're taking care of the citizens like the children. There's a different age that we cannot dream even if in this age. How the world is ruled by that, not because they are just running around doing many meetings, this, that. No, they are all spending time with the association of sadhus, muni, rishis, arranging big yajnas. They are hearing and engaging people in hearing Krishna Katha, Puranas, always taking advices from muni, rishis. So this is the earthly planet was in different situation that time. So this king Indradyumna, he developed a desire that is there any tirtha place on this earthly planet where I can go and see Lord face to face and see that Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he told his Pujari, head Pujari, please find out from the Tirthayatris. So head Pujari, because that time it was very common, kings used to take care of all the Tirthayatris, sadhu, sannyasi, anybody comes, they give them accommodation, food and everything. There's no problem. So head Pujari went to the assembly of all these Tirthayatris, sadhus. There he declared, is there any of you know on this earthly planet the Lord? Is any tirtha that our king want to have darshan? That is any tirtha that Lord can, our king can go and see face to face Lord? That time one Tirthayatri, he got up. Very humble mood he described. By the mercy of the Lord, I have been able to travel all over the earthly planet and visited all the tirtha places. But one place I have seen that I think that your king must take darshan of the Lord there. And that tirtha place is Nilachala Dham on the bank of the South Sea, Dakhin Samudra. There is a mountain called Nilachal. This mountain is surrounded by dense forest and also by golden sands. On top of this mountain, inside the cave Kunja, there is this Nilamadhava Bhagavan with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. So on the bank of the Nila Samudra, blue ocean, there is Nila Parvata, blue mountain. On the Shekhar, on the top of blue mountain, there is Nila Kandara, blue cave. And inside that blue cave, there is Nila Madhava. And he described that how on top of this Nilagiri, the blue mountain, there is huge Kalpa Bata, Kalpa Vriksha or Akshaya Bata. And towards the western side of Akshaya Bata, there is Rohini Kunda. And that Rohini Kunda water is very special. Whoever takes bath in that kunda, what to speak of whoever takes bath, whoever touch that water, he'll get liberation. During Pralaya time, all water starts from there, inundate whole universe, then again enters into that place. So that Rohini Kunda has lot of glories. The shore of that bank of that Rohini Kunda, there is Bhagavan Jagannath Neela Madhava, and towards the western side of this is Sabar Deepak Ashram. So he described the whole thing to him. So you may take your king there, then he can see the Lord on this earthly planet. After saying this, then he has glorified the king. He is so great. He has developed this desire to see the Lord. Then disappeared. The Tirtha disappeared. Then the head Pujari went to king and informed everything. Yes, one Tirtha gave me information. The king said, okay, let's go. The Pujari said, no. Let me send my brother Vidyapati. Let him first discover the path to go there, the place. He has to see the place, make arrangements, then we should go. Let him search for the place. Then king thought, oh, that is very good idea. Then Vidyapati was called, and in a very nice muhurta, auspicious muhurta, he was sent on a chariot. Some confidential people were accompanying him. So they started their journey from Malavadesh, Avantinagar, very auspicious muhurta. At that time, Vidyapati was in ecstasy that I am going to see the Lord for the first time, make free from all my sinful reactions. I will get liberation. So many things is arising in his heart, because until that, Nilmadhav was not visible to any Martalokabasis. Nilmadhav was mainly worshipped by the demigods, except the Savaras, Vishwavasu Savara, some of his confidential devotees. Otherwise, the earthly planet, earthly people, Martalokabasi, were not able to see. So thus Vidyapati was in great ecstasy. So few days on a chariot, they were moving towards Nilachala Dham. They were not feeling any tiredness, nothing. Very beautiful. On the road they see very beautiful jungles, nice atmosphere. So finally, one evening, they reached the bank of Mahanadi. There is a river, huge big river. So evening time, Vidyapati took bath in Mahanadi, chanted his Gayatri. He took rest. The next morning, he crossed the river and started his journey. And at one point, he could hear. He reached at Ekambra Kanana. And there was Mahadeva Shiva. So from Ekambra Kanana, the Nilagiri is 3 yojanas, 1 yojana 8 miles, is 24 miles far. The Ekambra Kanana is present Bhubaneswar, the capital of Odisha. So that is the place which was given by Lord Vishnu to Lord Shiva, Mahadev. Lord Vishnu, that is entrance point to Dham in Odisha. Utkal Desh, there 4 dhams are there. So Shastra describes 4 dham: Shankha Kshetra, Chakra Kshetra, Goda Kshetra, and Padmakshetra. So it has been described that one point there is Gayasur, the demon Gaya. So Lord came to subdue this demon Gaya. In Bihar, Gaya Dham is there. All Hindus, they must go once a life to offer Pitru Sadha in Gaya Dham. You must have heard that. Then after subduing Gayasur, then Lord came to Utkal Desh and he placed his 4 ayudhas, weapons like Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma at 4 different places. Where he placed his Shankha, that is Shankha Kshetra, Nilachala. Purushottam Kshetra is known as Shankha Kshetra. The Panchakrosh 10 miles diameter area is called Shankha Kshetra, Puri. Then there is Chakra Kshetra. There is Chakra Kshetra is Bhubaneswar, is place of Mahadev. Then Gada Kshetra, there is Biraja, Jajpur, there is a place where Biraja temple is there. There is place of Devi Biraja. Here in Puri, Lord Vishnu, Shankha Kshetra. In Ekamra Kanana, there is Bhubaneswar, known as Chakra Kshetra, there is Mahadev. Then beyond that, Jajpur, Biraja Kshetra, that is Devi. Then there is Padma Kshetra, is Konarka for Surya Bhagavan. Surya Bhagavan. Ganapati, we have Pancha Upasana, Vishnu, Shiva, Devi, Ganesh and Saurya. Out of 5, these 4 they have their dhams. Ganesh we don't see there. So this is Bhubaneswar, a Kamar Kanan. Lord Vishnu had given this place to Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu has told the Brahma will come and establish Koti Lingeshwar. So there Shiva is known as Lingaraj on the bank of Bindu Sarovar. Lord Shiva, Brahma, Lord Vishnu gave a place to Shiva. You along with Parvati, you stay here. So Vidyapati reached a Kamra Kanana. Then from there, then he was walking on dense forest. Daytime you cannot see path also. So dense forest. So at one point he was very tired, he just put in Kusasana, he just sat down there. He doesn't know where to go. And all of a sudden he could hear some sound, some people talking. Some discussion is going on. Then following that sound vibration, then Vidyapati went and reached one ashram where some Vaishnavas, tribal Adivasi people, Vaishnavas sitting and discussing Harikatha, having some kirtans. So there he saw, and they are discussing Harikatha, and that place is known as Savar Deepak. So the Tirthayatra Brahman had given this information. Something you want to say? Is okay? Okay? So Tirthayatra, that Tirthayatri, when he spoke, he has informed about the Savar Deepak ashram. Then Vidyapati saw that. Then he understood, oh, this is the place what I was looking for. So when he reached there, among all Vaishnavas, there is a very special personality. His body, whole body was looking so transcendental. Nice flavor was coming from his body. So he was Savarraj Vishwavasu, the great devotee of Lord Jagannath, who goes every day to worship Lord Jagannath. So when he saw Vidyapati, he was very surprised. How somebody could come here? Usually nobody can reach there. Then he was very worried, asking Vidyapati, please tell me, you took so much trouble, this dense forest, The road has so much thorns, sharp stones. You must have very tired. He washed his feet. Please, I'll wash your feet. Please take some rest. I'm going to cook some food for you. The Vidyapati said, no, don't be worried for that. I have come for a purpose here. I have come a purpose here. Our king has sent me. He's fasting until I reach, until I go back and give the information, because he's very eager to see the Lord. So you please arrange something that I can take darshan of Madhava, Nila Madhava. Then Vishwabasu said, yes, I have heard something like that King Indradyumna will come and he will build a big city here. I know that information. Okay, let's go to Nilagiri. Then they started their journey from Savar Dipak. They started their journey towards Nilagiri. So Vidyapati was following Vishwabasu. So dense forest. He was not able to see each other. Just following his katha, some sound. At one place they come to a place, two people cannot walk together. They have to go very narrow. Only one person can go to reach that Nilakandara on the bank of Rohini Kunda, next to this Kalpa Vriksha. The Nilagiri is so high, Vidyapati could see from a Kamra Kanana the Nilagiri, on top of that this Akha Bhatta, Kalpa Vriksha, Kalpa Bhatta, beautiful scenery as it was described by the Tirthayatris. Person, sadhu, same thing he saw there. Then they went, then he saw the beautiful banyan tree, a nice, so nice, Rohini Kunda. So Vishwabasu described the glories of this Rohini Kunda, how this water is divya, transcendental. If somebody touch, he will get free from all sinful reactions. He will have no disease, no old age, and will go back to Vaikuntha. This water is so pure, how everything manifests from this kunda and everything merges to this kunda. Then Vishwabasu told, I am waiting under this banyan tree. You go and take darshan of Nila Madhava. In this group, there is a kunja, there is a cave. You go and take darshan of Nila Madhava. Then Vidyapati went inside the temple. There he saw the beautiful form. Skanda Purana describes so nicely. There is a deity of Indra Nilamani. Indra Nilamani stone. The deity is carved from that, of a self-manifested deity. Only 21 fingers height. That deity has only 21 fingers. Looking so beautiful, 400 forms, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, smiling face, lotus, big lotus eyes, all kinds of descriptions are there. When Vidyapati saw that form, he was in ecstasy. He offered prostrate obeisances, prayers, stava, stuti and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And there he saw, next to Nila Madhava Jagannath, Lakshmi Devi is sitting there, looking beautiful face of the Lord. Then Ananta Deva is there on his right side, holding umbrella on his hood. Then he saw in front of Lord, Sudarshan is there, and behind Sudarshan, Garuda is sitting there. Since for a long time he was having darshan of the Lord. It is heart content. Then he came back and he saw Vishwabasu sitting under this banyan tree. Vishwabasu asked, now your life is complete. You are free from all sinful reactions. You are ready to go back to Godhead. So very fortunate. You saw the Nila Madhava. I think he was most fortunate because Nila Madhava was worshipped by the demigods by that time. In future, he was the last person, I think, to take darshan of Nila Madhava. Because Indradumna king will come, he will not get darshan of Nila Madhava. I will describe that to you. Then Vishwabasu said, so let us go leave this place quickly. It's the end of the day now. Almost evening. This place is very filled with ferocious animals, tigers, lions. You must immediately leave this place. Then both of them, they left Nilagiri. Then walking, then came to Sabardipak. Sabardipak, Vidyapati was so much in ecstasy. And this Vishwabasu offered some food to him, varieties of foodstuffs. And Vidyapati ate that food. He could not imagine how this tribal person living in this dense forest could manage food like this. He asked Vishwabasu, I live in palace with the king. I have never seen food like this. Where from have you arranged all these foods? And Vishwabasu smiled. So these are all come from heaven, celestial foods. All the demigods like Indra and other demigods, they come to take darshan of Nila Madhava. They offer varieties of bhoga to the Lord. They chant and dance in front of the Lord. So whatever prasad is there, I bring it. So this is that prasad you are eating. So he enjoyed. Then he made some friendship with Vidyapati. He wanted to stay for some time. At the same time he was worried he has to go back. Then he told Vishwabasu, now I have to go inform the king. King will come. He will build a big city here, big temple here to do seva for the Lord. Then Vishwabasu gave heavy breath. He said, yes, your king will come. I know your king will come here, build a big city, temple, but your king will not be able to see the Lord. He will not be able to see the Lord here. That is because I have heard, he has heard. Before Vidyapati goes, Vishwabasu, he knows these things will happen. And he said, I have heard, by the time your king comes, this Nila Madhava, Indra Nilamali Vigraha will disappear. Big storm will come. And this deity will disappear under the golden sands. But that time, that Nilagiri is surrounded by the golden sands. So your king cannot see. But don't tell to your king these things. When Vidyapati realized, if I tell king that you will go, the deity is no more there, then he will commit suicide. He will not eat anything, drink anything. So he kept whatever the shower Vishwabasu kept in his heart. But then he said, but you don't be worried. King is such a great devotee. The Lord will give definitely darshan to him. So he gave him a nice garland, the prasad garland of Nila Madhava, and with nice fragrant smell, beautiful. That is garland, celestial flower garland brought by the demigods, is offered to Nila Madhava. So Vishwabasu gave that as a gift for the king. Then Vidyapati, taking that garland, he came back to Malavadesh, to Abanti city, and whole city, country is waiting for him. King Indradimna and Gundicha, they're fasting until Vidyapati come back. And as soon as the king received the message, Vidyapati is coming, then he came, he left his palace to welcome Vidyapati. He saw the Vidyapati. By that time, Vidyapati form has changed. He is looking a little different because he took bath in that Rohini Kunda. Then he went to take darshan of Nilamadhava. He was looking very effulgent. Then Indradimna offered obeisances because he was holding a flower garland, the gift Vishvabasu gave. By seeing the garland, Indradimna felt that as if he is seeing the Nilamadhava. Then he put that garland. Then Vidyapati said, this celestial flower garland, this garland, the flower smell will never go away, always. The sweet smell will be there and flower will never become dry. It will remain always very blossomed, nice. So that way, then Vidyapati was received very nicely. Then king came to the palace, assembly hall, all mantri, Senapati, everybody came. They are all eager to hear what Vidyapati has found. He will reveal, describe. Then first king was asking, oh, how are you? He was so eager. He said, I have no time to speak to you about me. I will tell you about what I saw there. Then he described everything. How as per the description of Tirtha Jatri Sadhu, how his journey was nicely, how he reached Dipak, Savar Dipak ashram. Then he went to Nilagiri, he saw the, first he went to Kamra Kanana, then he went to Nilagiri, that he saw the Rohini Kunda, on the bank of the Rohini Kunda he saw this banyan tree. As per the description of Tirtha Jatris, Tirtha has described, you will see the banyan tree. To the western side of banyan tree, there is Rohini Kunda. To the north of Rohini Kunda, there is this Nilamadhava. And to the western direction, there is Savar Dipak and the ashram. Then he described the Lord and everything. And he chose that place where king can go and stay also. Then as soon as he heard the king has so much ecstasy, then he glorified the flower garland. How ecstasy was feeling. They saying, by seeing this garland, I see the Lord. The garland has a power, can purify the whole universe. It's glorifying that garland. So then king declared that what is the use of staying here? We have the information of the Lord on this earthly planet. We should go there and stay with the Lord. Take his darshan. So in my life, I have achieved everything. Dharma, artha, kama. Now, by seeing this Lord, by my own eyes, then I get moksha, liberation, go back to Godhead. So let us all go there. So he declared. All the king's family, ministers, the soldiers, the business people, everybody, they plan to go to Nilachala. And when this discussion is going on, it happened Narada Muni reached there. Narada Muni. Then Indradimna, King Indradimna, he got up, welcomed Narada Muni, washed his lotus feet, offered arati, giving a nice place to sit down. Then he asked, glorifying Narada Muni, you are so great, your presence purify everything, please tell me what service I can do for you. Then Narada Muni glorified Indradimna, you are so fortunate that you are going to build a city in Nilachala Dham. And Brahma is very pleased, Shiva is very pleased with you. Then king said, tomorrow I am going, you please come with me, we will go together. Narada Muni said, yes. Indradimna said, please come with me so you can show us, describe the glory of that place. Then king ordered the Jyotish astrologer please find out a auspicious muhurta when we can start our journey. Then the astrologer found which muhurta next morning they can start journey. Then the king Narada Muni went to Vishnu Mandir, took darshan of the Lord, got their blessings, and they climbed on the chariot. In one same chariot, Indradumna and Narada Muni on a raised platform, Narada Muni accompanied him. Many thousands of other chariots, thousands of people prepared to go, elephant, donkey, horse, different way, different people, they started to go towards Nilachala Dham. So, after going on the way, Narada Muni was describing nice Harikatha to the king. Then the whole group, they reached and tourists, they reached at the bank of Mahanadi. At that time it was evening. Then they set up the tent on the bank of Mahanadi. And the king was staying with all his soldiers and people, and evening time, Narada Muni is describing Harikatha to him. So one gatekeeper came. Gatekeeper said, Indradumna, that king of Orissa wants to meet you. Actually, that time Orissa name was not Orissa, it was known as Udradesh. Now the name is Odisha, but maybe Odisha comes from Udradesh, and it was also known as Utkala Desh. Odisha, Utkal, and long before it was Udradesh. I read somewhere that Indradumna king reached on this side of the river with all his soldiers and everything. Then the Orissa king, Udradesha king, came with all his soldiers. When he was approaching, then Indradumna's people thought that Orissa king coming to attack Indradumna. They rushed and said, the Orissa king coming to attack you? No, they're stopping him. Indradumna said, no, allow him, let him come inside. Actually, he did not come to attack. He is a very pious king. He came to see, welcome Indradumna. He went inside, then Indradumna asked the Udradesha king, how are you? Is everything okay in your kingdom? Your family is happy? People are happy? Are they obedient, following the rules and regulations of the scriptures? Are they paying tax properly? The earth is producing sufficient grain for you? He asked all these things. Then Udradesha king replied, yes, I was flourishing, my kingdom was flourishing like anything. But something has happened that my people have no food now to eat. There is no food. And so many calamities. Whole Utkala Desh, Udradesh is in danger. Why? Because Nilamadhava has disappeared. Nilamadhava has disappeared. Because of his presence, my kingdom was flourishing. Then King said, Nilamadhava has disappeared? He came with so much eagerness to take darshan of Nilamadhava. Nilamadhava is not there. Then after that, the Orissa king left, Udradesh king left. Then King Indradumna, he really became very morose. He almost fainted. Then Narada Muni pacified him. No, you don't be worried. You are such a great devotee of Vishnu. Vishnu will definitely come and give you darshan. You come with me. Then king was pacified. Very late, by that time it was very late night. And Narada Muni said, you go take rest. You don't be worried. All the demigods are happy with you. You are great Vishnu Bhaktas. Lord will give you darshan. So next morning they crossed the river. And all of them they reached Ekamra Kanana again, the same place where Vidyapati had reached. When they reached Ekamra Kanana, then Narada Muni took him, and Lord Shiva appeared to Indradumna, and Shiva gave his blessings. and he explained how Lord Vishnu has given me a place here. So we are very pleased with you. Your desire to build a city here, build a big temple will be fulfilled. Then Lord Shiva called Narad, come here. He took him to side, and here he said, so you must guide this king. So he'll go to Nilagiri, make 1000 Ashwamedha Yajna, build a temple. The whole description gave how Brahma will come and install the deity. So after getting that instruction, the Narad Muni led the whole group from Ekambra Kanana, these 3 yojanas, the Nilagiri. 24 miles from Ekambra Kanana is 24 miles. So they all proceed. There Lord Shiva said that I have manifested in 8 forms in Nilachal Dham, and at the entrance of Nilachal Dham I am there in the form of Nilakantha, and that Nilakantha Mahadev temple is still there today on the bank of Indrajamna Sarovar. If you go anytime to Puri, you take darshan the Nilakantha Mahadev. Since then, prior to Jagannath temple built, Mahadev is there. He said, I am in 8 form and protecting. That's why Lord Shiva is known as Kshetrapala Shiva. He protects the Dham. So I can speak now. He is known as Kshetrapala Shiva. Then the whole group went. Then they saw a agur tree, Chandan agur tree. And under the agur tree, there is a Narasingha deity, very ferocious Narasingha deity. Teeth and long tongue, and the whole description is there in Skanda Puran. Then Narad Muni said, this is Narasingha Kshetra, this is his place. Actually, Narasingha Dev is there before Lord Jagannath temple built. And Puri is known as Narasingha Kshetra. Today also Jagannath is worshipped. There is no separate mantra for worshipping Jagannath. He is worshipped in Narasingha mantra. That is place of Narasingha. So after taking the darshan of Narasingha, then they went to the place where Nilamadhava was there. But Nilamadhava has disappeared. Narad Muni pointed out, this is the place of Nilamadhava on the top of Nilagiri, the blue mountain. How on top of the blue mountain, Nilagiri, there is Nilakandara, it's blue cave, nice groove. And there that Nilamadhava worshipped Indra Nilamani Vigraha. And that Devadulla Vigraha, the demigods also desiring to have darshan of that transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when Indrajamna heard, then he proposed obeisances there. Then after that, all of them, they came to that place where Nilakantha Mahadev is there, or 2-3 kilometers at present time. It is about 2-3 kilometers. This Gundicha temple is there. Then they set up the tent over there. Then Narad Muni said, I am going, I will bring Narasingha, will install Narasingha here. So Narasingha is there, then everything will be protected. So then Vishwakarma's son came within 4 days. He built a nice temple there. The temple facing towards the west. That is the instruction of Narad Muni. The Narasingha Bhagavan will face towards the western direction. Paschim Disham, western direction. So temple was built in 4 days. Then Narad Muni came with Narasingha deity. That deity is still there. When you go, you can take darshan. Very beautiful Narasingha deity has 2 forms. Front side Narasingha and back side Ugra Narasingha is there. Usually they don't show that form to public. So then the Narasingha Dev deity was installed. So after that, Narad Muni said there is very auspicious place next to Nilakanta temple, there is one chandan tree, sandalwood tree. Towards some direction, he said, to the other direction of the chandan tree, that land is most auspicious to perform yajna. And they had one pendal for making yajna. The pendal was 3 miles extended area. One sahasra, 1,000 Ashwamedha yajna was performed. All Muni rishis, great personnel from the whole universe were invited. Demigods including Indra also came there. So Raja Indradumna, he prayed, Indra, you please stay at the end of this yajna. Indra was very happy with Indradumna. We are very happy, we will protect your yajna. Usually the demigods, they give hard time if somebody will do tapasya or yajna. The demigod, especially Indra, becomes very scared. We do 100 Ashwamedha yajna, you take position of Indra. And this man is doing 1,000 Ashwamedha yajna. But Indra was not worried. Indra said, we will help you, we will protect your yajna. So Indradumna was very happy. Then they started that Ashwamedha yajna. There is, as I told you, there are different descriptions in different scriptures. One description how the Lord appeared in the Narasingha form from the Yajna Kunda, then took the form of Santan Narasingha, that is there. There is a description also when you go, there is Indradumna Sarovar. It has been described how Indradumna king invited thousands of Muni rishis for this yajna. Then he has to give donation of cows. So hundreds of thousands cows are brought. Where the cows are standing from the hoof print that created a big hole. They are passing urine, stool, and King Indradumna, to do sankalpa for giving charity, was pouring water. So that dish got filled with waters. That became a holy tirtha. So now that is known as Indradumna Sarovar. Indradumna Sarovar is still there. And on the bank of this Indradumna Sarovar, when you go through the staircase, go down to the Indradumna Sarovar, there you will see this Nilakanta Mahadeva towards your right side, left side, and right side you can see the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after doing Gundicha Marjana, when he is going to go take bath in Indradumna Sarovar, there is a place where he used to take rest. That place is there also. So that is Indradumna Sarovar. So then what happened? Then after Yajna finished, then Narada Muni showed Indradumna king one tree. So this is the tree called Daru Brahma. This tree appeared here from the hair of the Lord Vishnu. And you take this tree, and from this tree you create the deity of the Lord. That deity is non-different from the Lord. Then Indra was very happy to see this tree, but how the deity form will be and who will make it. Then Narada said, everything will be arranged by the Lord. Then that tree was taken, then one special carpenter was brought for 15 days. Within 15 days, and the Lord's deity manifested. Then then Brahma was brought. Brahma installed. Oh, I did not tell you one story. Did I tell in English? When Hindi I spoke about Yamaraj and Brahma. I spoke in English? No. Okay, now only 8:30. So now it is already 8:30. Anyway, I told one kind of descriptions. There are other descriptions also there. More tomorrow there is one session for these people. Okay. Then tomorrow I will continue again, and tomorrow I will continue the rest of this. How there are other description of how this Vishwavasu, how Vidyapati came, married to the daughter of Vishwavasu, and the whole description tomorrow I will describe to you. and I'll continue with Rath Yatra tomorrow.
Tomorrow they have given time 6:30.
6:30. Okay, 6:30 or 7:30. Please confirm again, Madhupati Prabhu. Whatever time you want, I am at your service. It is my pleasure to describe all of you this Puranic description about the appearance of Lord Jagannath. And as I told you, different Puran description different way. So tomorrow I will touch some different other things which I left over today. Thank you so much. Jai